Good evening. More than 1,000 people who work for Birmingham City Council face losing their jobs over the next 2 years as part of the latest round of cuts. Over half of the staff at the city's new library could be made redundant. Callum Watkinson reports.
Still reeling from yesterday's Kerslake review, which said it must do better, Birmingham City Council said today it would scrap subsidies for gay pride and other public events. Subsidies which organisers say simply make good business sense.
Over the next 2 years we'll face cuts of around £45,000. We are going to feel it. I think it's significant for the city. We're one of the largest prides in the UK. It brings 50,000 people to Birmingham. It fills the hotels, the restaurants, the transport links. It's huge for Birmingham.
Nevertheless, along with other public events like the St Patrick's Day Parade, Pride can wave goodbye to any financial help as the council tries to find £72 million of extra savings in a budget that will make grim reading for many of its staff. 1,100 full-time jobs are at risk. 4,000 staff are already being consulted. Some unused playing fields are to be sold off, and the library service is to lose £1.5 million from its £10 million budget. There was precious little Christmas cheer for the staff here at Birmingham Library in today's announcement. Just 15 months since it opened, the council is proposing to slash its weekly hours of operation from 73 to 40, which means 100 of the 188 people who work here are likely to lose their jobs.
The Library of Birmingham is one of our concerns. The expenditure there is huge. It's not just the running costs, which are about 10 million, it's also the debt costs. That's £1 million a month in debt charges that we're having to pay, £12 million a year. That's the equivalent of the whole of our economic development budget.
And Sir Bob Kerslake did question the decision to build the library yesterday. He also said the council too often sees itself as a victim of central government funding cuts. But that's a view the union representing many of the at-risk workers agrees with.
The blame for these cuts lies fairly and squarely with the government. Birmingham's seen cuts of about £145 per dwelling, whereas there's some councils in the country like Hampshire, Windsor, Wokingham that have seen actual increases in the government grants that they get. It's not fair that the government has targeted Birmingham.
While the government insists it has delivered a fair settlement and greater financial independence for all local authorities, it's clear tonight that the next chapter in Birmingham's financial story will not be a happy one. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
Well, there was more challenging news for Birmingham in today's annual Ofsted report. Inspectors say the issues uncovered remain a significant concern. It follows the high-profile Trojan Horse affair, with a number of schools being classed as inadequate. Inspectors question the effectiveness of the council in being able to hold schools and governors to account. Alison Mackenzie sent this report from Westminster.
Looking at the Birmingham situation as a whole, the inspector's report does show that the shadow of the Trojan Horse affair is looming large. 21 schools were inspected, 6 because of the concerns raised about the alleged plot by hardline Muslim extremists to take over the governance and the running of schools. Some schools were then put into special measures. The message from the inspectors is that following their reinvestigation of these schools, the Trojan Horse affair is by no means a closed book.
We wouldn't be surprised if other schools were identified beyond Birmingham, for example, where we feel that children have not been protected properly and they're not receiving the broad and balanced education that they're entitled to. So we're very alert to it. We're going to be monitoring and responding to any other signs of this radicalisation or narrowing of the curriculum.
Looking at the West Midlands as a whole, there are 14 local authorities and, as you would expect, a mixed picture with some very high-performing inspections. Let's look at those. Telford and Wrekin, 89% of secondary school pupils attend a good or outstanding school. In Worcestershire, the figure is 83%. But in the bottom 20 of local authorities in the country comes Sandwell at 53% attending a good or outstanding school, and Stoke-on-Trent 52%, although for the sake of Stoke it does show a big improvement on previous years. We took the views tonight of the chair of the Perry Beaches Academy Trust, Liam Nolan.
Birmingham will only get out of trouble when it learns to look to those who actually are leading outstanding schools to turn around Birmingham's problems. Navel-gazing and discussing amongst themselves and prevaricating and creating more reports is not going to do it. Parents are choosing schools like Perry Beaches and coming away from the city because we offer outstanding education.
But fair to say the inspectors do outline in the report that good schools depend on good leadership, good governance. It doesn't matter whether it's a maintained school, a free school or an academy. It all depends on how it's run. Alison Mackenzie, ITV News, Westminster.
Police say a man arrested in connection with a threat to kidnap and kill a West Midlands police officer has been eliminated from their inquiries. The force was made aware of the threat on Monday night. Officers were kept on shift late for additional security briefings. The 31-year-old man arrested yesterday remains in custody but on immigration matters. Detectives investigating allegations of historic abuse at a former children's home in Coventry have charged 4 men. The abuse is alleged to have taken place at Wisteria Lodge during the 80s and 90s. 3 of the men have been charged with indecent assault. All 4 have been charged with ill treatment of children under 16. They've been bailed and will appear at Coventry Magistrates Court on December the 22nd. The Football Association have suspended Hereford United from all football activity after the club failed to comply with a deadline to provide documents. The majority shareholder, Alan McCarthy, has also been suspended after he and the club failed to provide further information that was requested on Monday. The FA says Hereford won't be able to play football again until they get the documents they need. A British expat's been questioned by British and Portuguese police today over the disappearance of Madeleine McCann from Leicestershire. Robert Murat arrived at a police station in Faro this morning. At the time Madeleine went missing from a holiday apartment in Praia de Luz in 2007, he was questioned as a suspect, but he was interviewed today as a witness. He's always denied any involvement. 10 other people will also be questioned by detectives reviewing the original evidence in the case this week. Birmingham-based education campaigner Malala Yousafzai has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The 17-year-old's the youngest person to receive the honour. She was handed a gold medal and diploma at a ceremony in Oslo in Norway. The teenager was awarded the Peace Prize for promoting girls' education. Malala was flown to Birmingham 2 years ago after she was shot in the head by a Taliban gunman for speaking out about girls' rights to education.
I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award. Along with that, I'm pretty certain that I'm also the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize who still fights with her younger brothers.
Sport now, and Coventry City's hopes of getting to Wembley for the Johnstone's Paint Trophy final ended tonight. Unfortunately, they lost 2-0 away at Bristol City in the Southern Section semi-final. Better news for rugby though, and the success of the England women's team was recognised today in the town where it all began. Today the team were in Rugby, where a special ceremony was held to honour their achievement in winning the 2014 World Cup. The team was awarded the Freedom of the Borough and a plaque was unveiled to commemorate their victory.
It's absolutely brilliant for the team to be recognised by Rugby. It's really special. It's actually my first time of being here as well. It's an honour to see where Rugby originated on the field. It's been brilliant.
Rugby is truly the home of the game. This is where the game was born, and the women's team's success this year has brought great respect to that game, and we thought it was only right to give that honour to the women's team.
And vets at Twycross Zoo have become the first in the world to record the heart rate of a chimpanzee without the need for a general anaesthetic. They say it's going to give them more accurate readings, which could help them treat heart disease, which is a growing problem. Now time for a look at the weather forecast for the next few days with the details. Here's Alex.
Wishing you a warm winter. Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
Hello. Over the next few days, it is going to be fairly breezy with some showers coming in at times and all the while staying on the cold side. Tonight, it's not going to be too cold in built-up areas, holding up at around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, so most parts escaping a frost. We'll also see a few showers beginning to feed in from the west, and those showers will become more frequent, particularly tomorrow morning. But in between the showers, there will be some spells of wintry sunshine, and although the showers will move off to the east during the afternoon, it will become quite dry for a time. But we'll also see more cloud pushing in from the southwest as rain arrives by the evening time. Top temperature of 6 degrees. Good night.
Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
That's all we've got time for tonight. Don't forget to check out the latest stories on our website. There it is. And we'll be back during Good Morning Britain tomorrow from 6. Good night.